Here's why my clients regularly go from selling $500 programs to $15,000 offers without learning even a single script. Now, most people think they need better sales skills, but here's what I discovered from working with hundreds of transformation experts. The ones who love selling and love what they have to sell aren't using different scripts. They've found the alignment and the aliveness between who they are when they're lit up and they're delivering versus who they are when they're selling. When there's a mismatch, selling feels hard because you're sacrificing your joy, your authenticity, your essence. But when you're fully aligned, sales conversations become as energizing as your actual work because you're showing up as the same person. So the difference isn't their sales skills, it's not their credentials, it's not even their results that they get for their clients. It's the level of consciousness they're bringing to sales conversations. Also, I've discovered that there are four distinct levels of sales consciousness, and where you operate from determines both the quality of your emotions and the quality of your results. And this is what I call the sales consciousness curve. And once you understand where you sit on this curve, everything about your relationship to sales and your experience and your results starts to make sense. But before I dive into that, I just want to ask you a really simple question. What's your honest relationship to selling right now? One, do you hate it? Does the thought of selling make you feel icky? Do you avoid sales conversations altogether and hope your work will somehow speak for itself? Or two, do you see it as a necessary evil? Like, can you do it when you have to, but it feels effortful and draining? Do you sell because bills need to be paid, but it's not enjoyable? Three, are you good at it, but you don't love it? So, do people say yes to you regularly and you get decent results, but something still feels like it's missing, like you're competent, but not completely lit up by it? Or four, do you actually love it? Does selling feel as energizing and natural as delivering your work? Do sales conversations light you up instead of drain you? So, one, two, three, or four. Do you hate it? Is it just a necessary evil? Is it, are you good at it, but you don't love it? Or do you absolutely love it? Where are you? One, two, three, or four? So, this relationship to sales tells me everything about the level of consciousness you're operating from when it comes to selling your services. Ow. If you to really put yourself out there with your selling, or ignorance, like So, what I've discovered after working with hundreds of transformation experts, there is a portion of people who just hate selling. And it's often because they're trapped under this fear and ignorance line, meaning afraid to sell and to put yourself out there and not aware that there is a better way to do it. As a result, they hate selling in the red zone. And this is where it's often selling really from fear, from scarcity, and it's a survival consciousness. So your nervous system thinks you need to prove your worth, and often through giving things away. This is where you might be over giving because unconsciously you believe that if I give enough value, maybe then they'll choose me. And so you're trapped below that survival line where your body thinks charging your worth is dangerous. And this is where sales conversations drain you completely because you're operating from that not enough energy. It's like the Oliver Twist, please, sir, can I have some more? Please choose me. And this is where you avoid mentioning your premium offers because maybe you've already decided that they can't afford them and you make their money decisions for them before they even hear your prices. Now, when you are able to break through and realize sales is a framework that you can learn, master, and make your own, that's when you start shifting into sovereign sales consciousness. You stop apologizing for your prices and you start stating them with quiet confidence. You stop overgiving to prove your value and start trusting that your value stands alone. And sales conversations become energizing instead of draining because you're not performing worthiness, you're just embodying it. And instead of making their money decisions for them, you let them decide what they can invest. And suddenly, people start saying yes to investments that used to terrify you to even mention. Now this next zone is the yellow zone. This is really a striving energy, and you're just selling out of necessity, selling from effort and ambition. And it's quite a transactional level of consciousness. And here's the thing, you can actually sell a lot. So you're ambitious, you're driven, you hit your numbers, you do the work, they pay the money, rinse and repeat. So you can sell a lot, even things that you're not in love with selling. But here's what limits you, it drains you because there's no soul in it. You can keep doing the same things day in, day out, but it's purely transactional. You might have that consistent income, or you can earn a certain amount of money in exchange for a certain amount of effort, but you're always capped by running on willpower instead of alignment. And this is where a lot of successful business owners get stuck. They can sell, they make money, but they're slowly burning out because they're operating from effort rather than their essence. Now, when you start shifting into sovereign sales consciousness, instead of selling anything that just pays the bill, you start selling what lights you up. You go from safe money into soul currency. And here's the thing, sometimes your income might drop, but your sustainability increases, your profit margins can increase, and often your income can also increase because aligned offers actually convert better. So you stop feeling like you're performing a job and start feeling like you're just sharing your gifts. And the exhaustion lifts because you're finally selling from your authentic expertise instead of what you think will sell. This is where you reclaim your energy, your business starts nourishing you instead of depleting you. Now, this light green zone, this is where you've hit a level of visionary selling, of visionary strategizing, and you can see the bigger picture. You're actually good at sales. You don't love it. You have stable results, and people say yes consistently. But you hit what I call the good enough line. You think, oh, I'm doing okay, and okay is good enough. You're visionary about what's possible for your clients, but you haven't fully stepped into your own vision of effortless sales, of what it would really feel like and look like if you were no longer exchanging good enough or accepting good enough as your exchange for being in business. This is where you're competent, but not yet truly magnetic. Good enough traps you because you're still not fully all of you in how you sell and lead the growth of your business. But when you shift into sovereign sales consciousness, so there's a portion of people who absolutely love selling, feel lit up by it. This is when everything feels liberating. You're not just visionary about your client's transformation, you're living your own vision of what it feels like to receive your genius. You become magnetic instead of just competent. And you stop just being good at sales and start loving sales because there's complete alignment between who you are when you sell and who you are when you deliver. And it opens up this mass amount of spaciousness, of freedom, of creativity that happens in those spaces. So you really explode what it means to access true wealth, your version of success. When you're operating from that sovereign sales consciousness, that's when everything changes. You're sovereign in your own worth, it's not negotiable. You sell from that complete alignment and embodied authority. And your consciousness is so clear about your value that clients feel it before you even make an offer. Sales conversations become liberating for both of you because you're holding space for their transformation through pure authenticity. So, this is what I discovered when I was breastfeeding triplets. I only had the tiniest amount of hours of window of energy when I felt okay, when I felt like I wanted to show up and have adult conversations. But my conversions skyrocketed to 83%. I closed over 1.2 in sales in the 18 months I was raising four children under the age of three. And this is because I access the parts where you are embodying your authority, where you're feeling lit up by who you're selling, how you're delivering. And you don't need to convince, you just invite. You don't need to chase because you are being the living, walking, talking, breathing example of what's possible when you just embody your worth. And this is where my clients effortlessly move from reasonable rates between, affordable rates to 10K, 15K, 20K offers. And it's not because they learned new scripts, but because they evolved into the level of consciousness they bring to their sales conversations. So if you're not fully loving sales, feeling energized and enlivened by your business, it means that something is out of alignment. And the beautiful thing that we do in our work is that we go to the root cause of what's creating that friction, of what is out of alignment, and we heal it at the root. And that flow on effect creates a beautiful cascade of flow in every area of your sales process and your business. And we do the nervous system recalibration work so that your body feels safe receiving at that level. If you are ready to own your sovereign sales consciousness, if you're ready to embody your next level and go from pushing, improving to owning and claiming, if you are ready to stop proving and start embodying your worth, I want to invite you to my free workshop, Confidence Codes, the core shift that makes sales effortless. No cringy scripts required. This is the key to raising your rates, closing more clients, and actually enjoy selling. We'll even do an interactive energy reset experience, which will show you exactly how to feel, change how sales feels in your body, how to go from those survival, striving codes and into that sovereign sales frequency. Check out the link below, grab your spot, and stop draining yourself with unconscious sales and start energizing yourself with sovereign conversations because your worth isn't negotiable. And it's time to make sure that your nervous system knows it too. Ka kite, bye for now.